Welcome back to the New Music Alliance Radio Hour. I'm Mark Ramone here today with Mark Sherry and our special guest, Mal Thursday. And you just heard Mal Thursday Quintet, the New England chapter with Karen. Before that, the Squires Going All the Way. And we started off with the bold Gotta Get Some. So, the Mal Thursday Quintet New England chapter with Karen on the Chunks Records label, right?
Chunk Archives. I had to fold Chunk in the early 2000s, but Chunk Archives was founded in 2010 to do reissues and archival stuff, but also new records like our records, house label.
That's some cool garage rock.
Yeah, a lot of garage and indie rock, and Karen was the Mal Thursday Quintet's first and last attempt at parody. The parody waters are dangerous to tread. We got hit with the Weird Al exception, which is that if you do a parody of the song itself, like in 1966, there was a band called the Bells. It was an all-female garage rock band that did a song called Melvin, which was a direct parody of Gloria. And that was protected speech because it was a parody of the song itself. Now, when you add a satirical element, in this case, the Karening phenomenon, it becomes a derivative work. And then it requires the written permission of the rights holders, which in this case were the guys from the Strange Loves, Feldman, Goldstein, and Goderer. Corey Feldman's dad was the Feldman.
Oh, wow.
And they were in the Strange Loves, and they did I Want Candy. We used their song Carolyn. And of course, the main body of the song is Gloria by Van Morrison, who is notoriously curmudgeonly and cranky. And we got the rights to Carolyn with the first couple of days. They signed, because they're going to make some money on it. Van Morrison made us wait 8 months before denying us the rights.
Oh.
So that song will never be on any TikTok videos. And will never be on Spotify. You can only have it as a free download on Bandcamp. We can't commercially release that record.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of fun, that record, that's for sure. Great vocals. I love the organ. I guess you had mentioned that's Bob Sherwood on the organ, and a little fuzzy guitar in there. I think it's a cool song.
Guitar and production by Frank Pedalaro at the Rec Room in East Hampton. Chuck Ferreira, the great drummer, on that, and of course Bob Medley, aka Robert Sherwood, and Peter Zaremba from the Flesh Tones did the middle part. And that song was like gonna blow up on Little Steven, and it did actually get played on Little Steven quite a bit, but it was cursed. And I'll never do another parody record, but that one is what it is, and I think we nailed it, and we still play it live.
So before that tune, we had the Squires out of Bristol, Connecticut, doing Going All the Way. And this is a 1966 recording, and what a great sound that is. It's got the classic 60s sound. Sounds a little bit like the Searchers to me, like style. And obviously the Who's I Can See for Miles is another great comparison. It's just such a great tune.
Yeah, but the Squires predates that Who record, so and it was such a hot record that it got national release on Atco, and these guys were just high school kids from Bristol, so I'm sure that was a thrill of a lifetime getting a national release.
Yeah, it's a great tune.
It's since become recognized as a garage classic. It's on the Nuggets box. It was on the very first Pebbles LP. After Lenny Kaye did Nuggets in 1972, eventually there were these other series like Boulders and Pebbles and Rubble and Back from the Grave.
It sounds like an old Flintstones movie or something, right?
Indeed, the Beau Brumblestones.
And we started at that block out with The Bold, a Western Mass band, also in the 60s, with Gotta Get Some. What a great, nasty sound. I love that tune.
Yeah, it's sort of this very fratty, kind of Paul Revere and the Raiders thing they've got going. And of course, it's a little racy. And they had a number of records, and they had this thing called they did a thing called Robin Hood. They did a version of Train Kept a Rollin' that's pretty spicy. And then they became sort of more of a psychedelic, sunshine poppy thing, and were the house band at the Playboy Club in New York for like a year and a half or something.
Wow.
And one of the guys had a music store in Hadley, when I was at Hampshire back in the 80s, and it's right near the Village, Common. And I'm not sure what's there now. I think an insurance agency or something. But he told me that Steve Walker's mother had, later on, after the band had broken up, she had thrown away all of his master tapes and artifacts that were under his bed, and we're all lost to history. So we only have, the 245s and the LP on RCA to remember the bold. But if we ever did a Western Mass Music Hall of Fame, which I would love to do, but I'm a 99 percenter, so I don't really have the funds to build the museum. But anyway, if there was ever a Western Mass Music Hall of Fame, the Bold would be first ballot Hall of Famers. They were trailblazing 60s dudes from Northampton, and I'm sure they played the Davis Center at Smith and the Blue Wall at UMass and all that good stuff, and all the frats.
Mal, I love that you brought these gems to us, and I've found a couple in the past, like Andy Dio with some Rockabilly hit from the 1961. But this is really good stuff. The Squires and the Bold, I love it.
Yeah, I've got one from Greenfield too, but memory fails. I'll shoot that to you when I look it up.
Yeah.
There's resources where you can track these thousands of 60s regional teenage garage bands, by their region or by their town. Bill Kelly from the Black Hole Bandstand on Little Steven and Teenage Wasteland on WFMU for many years. He shared that resource with me, and it's really great because you find bands from your hometown, and you wonder, what was it like for them, when they were the high school rebels, playing the teen dances and whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, our next block, we've got songs by Hal Blaine, the Not Quite, and Amy Sullivan and Nos Amours. And we're going to be starting this one off with Hal Blaine doing Topsy 65.